This year, all Brophy freshmen have been equipped with Apple iPads for their classroom needs, instead of the traditional tablet PCs. We spoke with several faculty members to get their thoughts on this new technology on campus.
As with everything, what matters is how teachers and students decide to implement it together. And if it were just, well, a couple things. One is the user experience, I think, is going to be better. When we handed out the iPads to freshmen, I surveyed them all each time, I had a group of 100 to set up. And when I surveyed them about who had an iPhone, an iPad, and an iPod Touch, it was upwards of 90% of guys who had one. So they're very familiar with the operating system. The operating system is very, very stable, and it's easy for them to troubleshoot and fix. That's huge. The first 2 weeks of school, in a normal school year, K-13, the technology center, the line is out the door with freshmen who have misconfigured or who messed something up on their tablet PCs. This year with the iPads, you hardly ever see a freshman in K-13 trying to get something fixed because they know how to fix it themselves. So there's real stability there, there's no virus issue, and like I said, students can fix it because they're familiar with it. So I think that's going to improve the user experience. The battery life is an obvious improvement to the user experience, not having cords draped around all over the place. And then I think it's a more creative tool in many ways than the tablet PCs were. So the tablet PCs are great at getting information and then giving back information. But I think our world is moving beyond the value of that. When information is so easy to get, getting information, remembering it, and then finding a way to be tested over it, that's just not as valuable anymore. It's more important to be creative, to be critical thinkers, and to develop an artistic sense of media fluency so that what you do and what you say and what you present is attractive to somebody. And I think the iPads help to embody that. Okay. All right, so Blackboard obviously is still the mainstay of what a lot of students are expected to use and be familiar with and where they're going to work. So it works basically the same way on the iPad as it does on the tablet PC. You can scroll around, you can take different documents and download them. So for example, in my AP Physics class, I've got a lecture here that I want students to download and then write on. So they'll just open up that lecture, and then they have a variety of different places they can open it in. The best place for making notes is in Notability. So they can create a new note. Then they've got My Slides right there. And they can run around, and as I'm lecturing, they can highlight different things that are important, or if they need to make various notes of formulas, they can do that too, or they can even type out text in addition to what I'm having them do. Test text. And all that stuff is saved there so that when they go back and they're back at home, they can just open up their Notability notebook again, and everything's there just like it would have been in OneNote for a tablet PC user. Likewise, maybe a teacher's given them some type of worksheet to take care of, and so they can open up the PDF for that worksheet and fill out all the information that their teacher wants them to answer. I'm just making scribbles here for the sake of time. And then when they're done, just take and email that to their teacher. And then their teacher's going to get a PDF with that information that they've used. As teachers start to develop the interactive textbook features, then you're going to see a lot of nice extras come up. So with the interactive textbooks, unlike a PDF, you can go through it, but the interactive textbook, teachers can also put in videos. So these are videos that they might have linked to on YouTube or Khan Academy, or videos they would have made themselves that students can watch and learn from. And in addition to that, one of the nice things about it is, just like, kind of like with Google Docs, there's built into this a quiz feature. So let me see if I can find a quiz real fast. There we go. So students can take tests as part of their own book and then check their answers to see what they got right, what they got wrong. Right? And again, these are features that never existed before. If there's a word they don't understand, they can just highlight it. So they can highlight it and ask it to be defined, or they can make a special note to themselves. And then one of the really nice things that happens here is after they have the note taken care of, all their notes are stored separate from one another, and they come back through and look at all their different notes and what they've tried to do with those things. And even if it's definitions or things like that, they can make study cards. So if they want, they can have, just like with the regular old note card, you can have something on the back, something on the front, and test and quiz yourself.
Well, it's interesting for me. I've got 2 classes this year, 2 different classes. I teach my video production class, which I've been doing, and then I also have freshman English. And so with our freshmen, every freshman is equipped with the iPad, and there's a lot of one-to-one computing that goes on. We use programs like Notability and Pages for them to submit their work to me. It's nice because I can go ahead and write on their essays and then go ahead and flip it around and send it right back to them. Students are allowed to receive graded work from their teachers in a more efficient way, in a quicker way. With my video production class, these things are equipped with iMovie, so we're able to go out. We have cameras on these iPads, so they actually use the iPad as their camera. They bring it back into the classroom and then they use it as their editing machine. They're all equipped with iMovie, so the kids are able to edit their projects right here on their iPads, and then they submit them through either a digital Dropbox that we have, or we submit them through YouTube. So those are a couple of things that we're doing